Good morning.
We're here, I think. Still, maybe. Hey! Facebook changed what they do here, and it's giving me all kinds of options while we're live. I think we're live.
We're live.
You guys there? Hello!
It says a little red word live up there.
It does. Look at that. Wow. This fancy dancy. I wish they'd have told me they were changing and not to push certain buttons.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to push
all kinds of buttons.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah, you push your little buttons a lot faster than I do. I just push one and see what happens, and you're like.
If I were to go slower, we probably wouldn't have these
And
problems.
then other screens pop up, and I'm like, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So it is another beautiful Thursday. And I want to talk for a second. So last weekend, my wife and I went to Chicago, went to a Cubs game. And it was fun. Cubs won.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubbies.
Cubbies play tonight.
Do you know where the Cubbies play tonight?
Dyersville, Iowa.
I know. Field of Dreams. And it looks like it's going to be amazing. Last year, do you remember last year's sunset? When you saw the sun go down and had that beautiful red sunset, and it made Iowa look like the greatest place on earth, which it is. I'm thinking
God's
this
country.
year. I think it's going to be a little more cloudy this year, but the weather looks like it's going to be perfect, and I just can't wait to. I can't watch the game.
And if the Cubs win a game this year, this will be the one to win.
This would be the one.
This is their
and they're
playoff
about tied,
game.
Aren't they? I think they're tied. I think they both suck, and they both suck the same. So it should be.
I've watched 15 minutes of sports this entire year, and this was just on Monday or Tuesday, and it was Colin Cowherd, and he goes, this is going to be like the Cubs and Cincinnati's playoff run. This is their World Series, because this is all they got to play for this year.
They're the only one playing. Everybody's watching. It's a big deal, and yep. I had my one baseball game is the one I was at. I haven't watched any on TV. I just haven't had time. But we try to go and see one game a year. It's just one of those things we've been doing the last few years. COVID screwed it up, but that's okay. We got to our one Cubs game this year, and it was a lot of fun, and it was cool.
That's awesome.
But I had to throw that in there. We were talking
Dyersville.
about the weather.
It should be on ESPN tonight.
I think so.
Probably.
I
gotta make sure I watch that.
Previous engagement, but I'll try to catch some of the game, or at least the highlights when I can. Other things going on in town.
So highlights of Fort Dodge. We just kind of went through the newspaper and just kind of thought about things. And one of the big topics right now is deer hunting in city limits.
Yeah.
And I live around that intersection right next to the North Woods, and there is deer everywhere. And the second I heard it, I was like, no, they're not. They're not going to hunt inside city limits. But then they said that when you have the bow and arrow license, these guys are good. And I have one friend that is super amazing.
Yep.
But you don't want me bow hunting even close to city limits, because I'm going to shoot at my garage and I'm going to hit the house 3 houses
the garage,
down.
Yeah. There's no houses next to him, really. Well, there's one. You can hit.
If the bow and arrow even goes that far, but...
You can hit the priest next door.
But I'm pretty strong,
Yeah,
so I probably pull the string extra far back.
He's broken more than he's
strong. But I
strong.
just don't have any.
Yeah. Other things going on this weekend. Well, first of all, deer. There is a lot of deer. I mean, I don't have flowers. We have a couple, and if the deer ate them off, I wouldn't care. But there's so many people that care about, Don't get me wrong, my yard looks nice because I keep it up. But I'm just not I don't want to be out there planting flowers all the time and doing that. But there's so many people that put so much time and effort into their lawns and gardens and shrubs and all that stuff that I can understand why having too many deer become an issue. And yeah,
I see it. Honestly, I'm on both sides. I'm for it, and then I'm against it.
Which puts me right in the middle where I don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I don't either. I have opinion. I always have an opinion.
Yes, but your opinion was just,
I
have an opinion that I don't know.
That is my opinion.
That is an opinion.
I could be swaying.
Some of us should stay out of shit we don't care about. Sorry.
That is.
Oh, sorry.
And I care, but I don't.
Okay, back to the weekend, because I just remembered as we started that we are going to Hilltop Fest at Friendship Haven tomorrow.
Okay.
Every year they do their tailgate, so they have a band and they have all stuff set up and kind of hang out with residents, and it's a lot of fun out of Friendship Haven. So I know Joyce and I will be there tonight, and I've had a couple people ask if we're going. So if you have anybody, know anybody out of Friendship Haven, call them, kind of see how to take care of that, get tickets and do that kind of thing, and well, yeah, maybe I'll see you out there.
That sounds fun.
Oh yeah, and
That's
all
like-
the money
that's
goes
great
to
for, like,
the
residents.
So Friendship Haven's one of those places where once you get in, they never kick you out, but they have to raise money to do that. So all the money they raise at Hilltop Fest goes into that fund, so they can help take care of people. So it's a cycle of life facility. So
Well, I'm gonna give a shout out to Friendship Haven because I've had a lot of clients in the last 2 years move in there, and most of them very excited. And talking to past clients, they said it was like one of the best moves they made.
Yeah.
To utilize some of their things that they have in the pool and whatnot, and
Yep.
so from the little bit that I know, good job, Friendship
Yeah.
Haven. That's a great service in Fort Dodge.
Yeah.
For our peeps,
for everybody.
for everybody. And we have dragon boat races.
Dragon boat races. You haven't been out there, they're pretty cool.
I wonder if we could do a show and we each get our own dragon boat and we race.
Yeah, you're on. You'll win.
With my big muscles. 20. How many people go on a dragon boat? Is it 20 or is it like 40?
It can't be 40.
20?
I don't know. I've never counted.
If you know, let us know.
Yeah. All of them.
Or just go out this weekend and count the people in them, and then that would tell us how many people
That's
go
your
in them.
homework.
It's my homework.
Homework. He's gonna go dragon boat races and tell everybody how many people are on a dragon boat.
I think that would be fun to do.
I think it would be fun to do.
Fort Dodge is going to put some more security cameras
Yeah.
around town here and there.
By the schools, catch some of those neighborhoods that I think we need to keep a better eye on, which is awesome. Actually, they've made a big difference downtown. I mean, having Shiny Top down there, where I'm down there all the time, and they really do help.
Well, I know when you're just walking down the sidewalk and you just think about picking up that rock and just throwing it across the street.
Because that happens daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I'm downtown, I'm thinking, gosh, I should just pick up this rock and just like throw it at that building over there. But I know there's cameras down there.
You want to
So
hear
I
my
was like,
camera story?
I'm not going to do that.
I have a camera story.
Okay. I wanna hear
Okay.
it.
So we opened Fort Frenzy, and prior to Fort Frenzy, I worked at the prison for years. And I was an MP. I had 20 years in law enforcement, and security was my thing. So I told them, I said, we're putting cameras in so we can keep track of everybody and what everybody's doing, and if something happens, we can go back. So first week open, maybe second week, I get a girl coming up to the front desk, and she said, somebody stole my wallet. It was right on that table right there. And I went, whoa, this is where I shine. So I go up and I pull the video back, and I see her wallet, and I see a kid come up, take her wallet, walk off, and you could see him plain as day. So I call the police. They show up and say, oh yeah, we know him. And they were at his house before he was getting the wallet back. And everybody knew after that, you don't do anything at Fort Frenzy because I will catch you immediately. I'll have the police at your house before you get home. And I swear we had the best kids forever because they knew. And that story just kind of spread between all the kids that do that stuff that this isn't the place to do it. Go to the mall where there's no cameras because the mall was still open at the time. But
Yep.
no, that's my camera. And that's, it's more of a deterrent once you catch somebody. And they've already started catching people with those cameras. It really is a deterrent for people to say, you know what, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go somewhere else, which kind of displaces it. And I think that's why moving some more cameras up to where they're taking them is a good idea. So let's keep displacing that and get them to go do those things somewhere else or not do them at all.
Not do them at all. I mean, if it makes anybody think about not doing something that they shouldn't do, then great.
Yep. Agreed.
I mean, I know in my restaurant, I had 12 or 13 cameras, 12 I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy looked at me, he's like, you wanted one in your storage room, but you don't have the service to do it. I was like, He goes, but I have an old broken one that looks brand new out in the truck. Do you want me to just screw that into the wall? I was like, yeah, I do.
Heck yeah, put that in there.
And one time I had one of my girls come and say, hey, that one box is missing. I think blah, blah, blah took it. You want to look in that camera? It's like, yep, I will look at that. I couldn't spill the beans because I didn't want her to know that it doesn't work.
Not going to tell anybody. Oh, that's
I was like, yeah, I looked at it. I don't know. It must happen in the middle of the night. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But no, so still lots of stuff going on. I mean, there's always something to do here in town. Dragon boat races, Hilltop Fest. There's,
So I'm sure the campgrounds are going to be crazy out there at Kennedy this weekend.
You going to camp at all anytime soon?
Don't have time.
Yeah, me either.
Got to take care of my peeps.
That's right. Anyway, it's another 10-minute episode of Talk Fort Dodge, where the first minute was us looking at each other, wondering if things worked.
Are we live?
We're
live.
Maybe.
Are we live?
Where are we?
We're live.
All right. See you next
Bye.
week. Bye.